Hello YouTube land, it's your boy Austin Strathy here. I'm back with another video. The last video that I did, there was a bit of disruption with it, if you want to say. The stove fan was on and stuff, so I'm gonna do a little in-depth video to you guys, a more detailed video on what happened earlier this year with things. So the start of this year was very difficult for me and my family. However, I will get further into detail, but on June 6th, everything was lifted because I signed a peace bond, and there were some other things that were signed for stuff to get lifted. So, as of March 23rd, it was around March 23rd. I think it was actually on that day. I could be wrong, but I could be right. So what happened was, I was walking by my wife, okay? Let's say this is my wife, this seat, right? I just went like this, boom, just like a light tap, right? So what happened was, I didn't think, right? I didn't think, I didn't know what to do, right? So what I did was I called the police, and I stated to the the dispatcher, that I bumped into my wife and she fell and stuff like that. The cop called me an absolute retard, which I can understand why, because at the end of the day, it was a stupid charge for a stupid reason, right? So that's what happened. Stupid charge, stupid reason type deal, right? So what ended up happening was I was placed in handcuffs. I was released on conditions that had to be followed until all of the court ordered things, like court, was all said and done. So for the first, up until about May 16th, I stayed in my car. Now, I did stay in my car after that day. So what ended up happening was, I attended my first court case on the 24th of April. I spoke to the duty counsel. Duty counsel is lawyers inside the courtroom that you don't have to pay for, that is covered by the courts. So I spoke to duty counsel in the Crown Attorney's office, and they decided, well, instead of having me on a 12-month probation, that I do 12 months peace bond. So it was in talks. So then I had my next hearing. I had about 4 court cases, so all the other hearings went good and stuff. And then it was about the May 28th, I signed the peace bond, the 810 peace bond. So what happened then was I signed it. So it takes a few days for it to process into the replay system and etc. Right? So I ended up signing it. Boom, bada, bing, bing. And then my wife had to sign a revocable consent form. And that's all what happened. However, let's rewind back on May 16th. So on May 16th, at this time, on May 16th, everything was still in place with the no contact order and stuff like that. So I ended up going to Delaware Speedway and not knowing my wife was there for this event as well. So she went back, went into our car, and we drove. Well, it was Victoria Day long weekend here, so it was the 19th long weekend, Friday night. So what happened was I was going to take the highway home, right? I was going to take the highway. At that time, I saw flashing lights ahead, that were police. I didn't think, I thought maybe it was in a car accident, right? I didn't think it was a ride program. It didn't click in my head, right? So I avoided it. I decided to turn left down one of the side streets before that. And then I turned down another side street to get back on the main road. Well, when I turned down the main road, there was a cop at that corner waiting for me to turn. And then he lit me up. I pulled over. He says, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and or will be used against you in the court of law. I said, okay. He said if I would have went through the ride program, I would have been set free. Because of me avoiding that ride program, I had to do a breathalyzer test, and that's another reason why I got yanked. So I spent overnight in jail. Got out Saturday, had court that morning. They released me on bail. Released me from custody. London courts decided to lift all charges, so drop all charges, not lift them. Like, they dropped all charges. And then I still had that. I was still free as of the 6th for the revocable consent. Moved in, and ever since then we've been a happy couple. Now, to answer Angie's question of things, Angie says, "What's the bad news?" So the bad news is, my wife and I want to buy our own home. But unfortunately, it's harder said than done. One, our credit is bad, like absolutely bad, like no way of recovering from this. And two, if we buy it outright in cash, you have to go through a real estate lawyer. So we're going to be renting for the foreseeable future. Anyways, that's about that for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, comment, the whole 9 yards. I appreciate everything. Thank you so much for all the love and support, and I will see y'all in my next video. Until then, take care, stay safe, peace.